Today we're going to review, kind of work in between all three of the forms: point, slope, slope-intercept, and standard form. If you look here, they gave us a graph and they highlighted a coordinate for us to use. Now let's figure out what that coordinate is. It's to the left 5, it's up 6, so that coordinate would be negative 5, 6. We're going to need that when we put it into point slope form. There's our point. Now point slope form, we're going to need the slope as well. So we find any two coordinates and we figure out the rise over run from left to right. You can choose any of them. Now I see which one's going to be the quickest, but let's get a little wild with this one and let's think about that point. So from left to right, that's going down 6, and it's going over from negative 5 to 0 is 5, and then here's 10 more, so that would be over 15. Now you always simplify that. Those are both divisible by 3, so that would give us the slope of negative 2/5. There's our point, there's our slope, so we'll drop it into point slope form. So y minus our y coordinate, the 6, equals our slope, negative 2/5. And then we have x minus our x coordinate. It would say x minus negative 5, but we change that to x plus 5. There it is in point slope form. Now I wrote it up there because we're going to do a little work to that, but I'm going to write it on the line too. Y minus 6 equals negative 2/5 x plus 5. Now to start getting it into slope-intercept form, we're going to have to distribute first. So we'll have y minus 6 equals negative 2/5 x, and then negative times positive is negative. We're multiplying a fraction by a whole number. So remember, the whole number would go up top. 5 times 2 is 10, divided by 5 is 2. Y minus 6 equals negative 2/5 x minus 2. We need y by itself, so we'll get rid of the minus 6 by adding 6. Y equals negative 2/5 x. Negative 2 plus 6 is positive 4. There it is in slope-intercept form. Y equals negative 2/5 x plus 4. And the last one is standard form. No fractions allowed. So we'll multiply this whole equation by 5, the common denominator, and that'll clear out all the fractions. 5 times y is 5y. If we are multiplying by the number in the denominator, those would just cancel out. So it would be negative 2x. And then 5 times 4 is 20. The last thing with standard form is no fractions, no decimals, but you do have to get the x on the same side as the y. It's negative 2x. To send it to the other side, you would add 2x. 2x plus 5y equals 20. 2x plus 5y equals 20, and we're having fun, folks. That wasn't too bad, right? Look at the coordinate, calculate the slope, right? Just count, rise over run, and then start dropping them into the form. So let's try another one of those. And again, if you're watching this at home, feel free to pause it and actually try it yourself. I'll move out of the way, otherwise you might have access to the PDF. But there it is if you want to pause. All right, let's look for our coordinate here. It looks like our coordinate is at 3, 1. Slope, I see a point here, so that's at negative 7. So that's up 8 over 3. You can't simplify that. So there's our slope, there's our coordinate. Putting it into point slope, it would be y minus our y coordinate, 1, equals our slope, 8/3, and then x minus our x coordinate was 3. There it is in point slope form. Now we're going to have to do work to that, so I'm going to write it up here as well. Y minus 1 equals 8/3 times x minus 3. We always have to distribute there. So y minus 1 equals 8/3 x minus Like I said on the last one, if you're multiplying what's in the denominator, the 3 and the 3 are going to cancel out. So it's just going to come out to 8. Otherwise, you could do 3 times 8 is 24, divided by 3 is 8. That gets you there too. All right, we got to get y by itself, so we will add 1 to both sides. Y equals 8/3 x minus 7. There it is in slope-intercept form. 8/3 x minus 7. Fun! Standard form, no fractions. So we're going to multiply it all by 3. That will give us 3y equals 8x minus 21. Last thing we have to do is get the x on the other side with the y. It's positive 8x. So if I'm getting rid of that, you would use negative 8x. So we'll have negative 8x plus 3y equals negative 21. Negative 8x plus 3y equals negative 21. Hopefully you're singing along at home. Great, that wasn't too bad. Now, we used a point, we used the slope. It was easy to find the slope because it was just rise over run. The next ones, they just give us 2 coordinates, so we're gonna have to calculate the slope. Uh-oh, careful. They just gave us 2 points. I keep saying they, it was me. I made these problems up. Not to brag. So remember, when you're calculating slope, the y's go in the numerator. Our 2 y's would be 12 and 17. Doesn't matter which order you write them in, as long as you are consistent in that order with the x's. So if I did 12 first, then when I do the x's, I'm going to want to start with negative 6 first. So we'll do negative 6 minus negative 8. Now you got to be careful when you have minus negative, that really is the plus positive. So 12 minus 17 is negative 5. Negative 6 plus 8 is positive 2. So here's our slope, negative 5 over 2. We can use either coordinate. It's going to work out. The point slope forms would be different, but that's fine. But the slope, intercept, and standard works out the same regardless of the coordinate you use. So pick one you want. I want to pick negative 6, 12 just because it's smaller numbers. So starting then in point slope form, we'd have y minus our y coordinate, the 12, equals our slope, negative 5 halves, and then x minus our x coordinate, x minus negative 6 changes to x plus 6. So there it is in point slope form. I'll transfer that over here. Y minus 12 equals negative 5 halves x plus 6. Just like always, at this point, we're going to have to distribute that negative 5 halves. Y minus 12 equals negative 5 halves x. Negative times positive is negative. 6 times 5 is 30. Divided by 2 is 15. Cool. One more step. We got to get rid of minus 12 by adding 12. Y equals negative 5 halves x minus 3. If you chose the other coordinate, the negative 8, 17, it still works out to this after you distribute and add or subtract, whatever you have to do. So slope-intercept form, y equals negative 5 halves x minus 3. We got to clear out the fractions, so we'll multiply this by 2. That will give me 2y equals negative 5x. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. One more step. We got to get the negative 5x to the other side, so we will add it to move it over there. 5x plus 2y equals negative 6. Yes! Yes! One more. We're almost done. Oh my gosh. Oh no. They're all negatives. That's scary. Uh-oh. It's spooky season. Halloween just around the corner. Maybe, depending on when you're watching this. So we'll subtract our y's in the numerator. Our y's are negative 13 and negative 15. Let's say I did it in that order. Negative 13 minus negative 15. We started here, went there. We'll do the same order for the x's in the denominator. Negative 9 minus negative 18. Those minus negatives will turn into plus positives. Negative 13 plus 15 is 2. Negative 9 plus 18 is 9. Can't simplify that anymore, so we'll have 2/9. We can use either coordinate for point slope form. I'm going to use that first one. So we'll have y minus negative 13, which is y plus 13, equals our slope, 2/9. And then x minus negative 9 becomes x plus 9. So we have it in point slope form. Surprisingly, that's the easiest one. Y plus 13 equals 2/9 times x plus 9. Cool. You know it. You love it. We're going to distribute y plus 13 equals 2/9 x plus 2/9 of 9 would just be 2. One more step. Get rid of plus 13 by subtracting 13 from both sides. Y equals 2/9 x, and then 2 minus 13 is negative 11. Last one, standard form. We're going to have to multiply out the fractions. Times 9, 9y equals 2x minus 99. And then we got to get the 2x onto the other side so we could subtract it over there. It'd be negative 2x plus 9y equals negative 99. There it is. Negative 2x plus 9y equals 99. Oh, negative 99. Oh, be careful. Be careful, Mr. Plant.